Dentista.
Hello, Doc Rai.
Hello, Torjin.
Hot na hot ngayon,
Oo,
Dokie.
correct.
Di ba? Nung the last time, mga mamaps and papaps, nakisawsaw kami sa issue ng mga Katniel. Ayan, do watch that video. Yung kay Sian Lim, at saka kay Richard Gutierrez. Ayun. So, ngayon naman, makikisawsaw tayo dun sa issue ni Bea Alonzo at ni Dominic Roque. Okay.
Hindi si Harry.
Dominic Roque. Okay, so, isa sa sinasabi nilang dahilan na maaaring naging issue ng dalawa kung bakit hindi na matutuloy ang dan-da-da-dan, kasal nila, is because of the Prenuptial Agreement. Ayan. So, Dokie, may tanong ka ba dyan sa prenup?
Ano ba ang Prenuptial Agreement? Bakit siya kailangan? Hindi ko siya intindihan.
Okay, tapos mamaya tatanungin kita kung nag-agree ka pagkatapos ko ma-explain. Now, mga mamas and papaps, ang Prenuptial Agreement, kaya ako explain kasi ang daddy ko ay, my late dad is a lawyer. And then, before I got married, this is exactly, which was 21 years ago, this was exactly what he asked me to do, but I said no. Okay. So, what is exactly a prenuptial agreement? Kasi there was a time, yung Article 106 ng Family Code, when you got married, your property, if in case you get separated, it becomes conjugal. Meaning, whatever you have built together during marriage are the only things that you are going to automatically divide if in case you get separated. Okay, that is the conjugal partnership. However, for some reason, it was updated. Okay, na naging absolute community property. Now, wherein, when you get married, whatever you have and whatever he has, and then whatever you build together will be considered as an absolute property once you get married. So when you separate, it does not matter if you had that money, let's just say you had 1 million in the bank when you got married, and he has 20 pesos in the bank. That is 1 million and 20 pesos. When you get separated, that 1 million and 20 pesos will be divided into two. That is the absolute. However, there are exceptions in absolute. And these are the things that you inherit from your family. Okay? So, if it is inherited, like your dad died, ganon, or your sibling died, and they, ended up giving it to you, then that can be considered as not part of the absolute property. However, later on, mga mamas and papaps, I will explain to you why prenup is really something you should be doing. Considering. Okay, but we will wait for that. And then the third one is the agreement between the two parties before getting married. What exactly the properties that, or the separation of property, meaning what exactly the properties that you can consider that is just yours and that is just his, and that when you build something once you get married, what can be discussed as together, so that you do not have to go through a long process of legal case in order to divide that properties. Ayan. So, yan ang Doc. Now, Dokie, yan ang tatanong ko sa'yo. Kasi mga mamas and papas, let us all make congratulations kay Dr. Wright because he just got engaged. Ayan. And because he just got engaged, this is a very important topic for him. Because he is a dentist and his fiancée is an anesthesiologist. Now, hindi na natin i-detail yung mga financials nila. But we will have, I'm curious if Dr. Brian, if in case your fiancé told you that I would like to have a prenup, will you be offended by it? Will you be open to it? Or what do you think of prenup per se?
Doktora, ang tingin ko na dapat naman tayo big prenup in all factors. Dahil syempre, it's supposed para maging fair kayo sa isa't isa.
Okay.
Diba? Kasi for me, parang kung ano yung pinaghirapan ng tao yun before kayo nagkakilala, should be sa'yo or sa kanya. Hindi mo dapat pwedeng agawin your ano. Pero tama na naman na parang conjugal partnership, kung ano yung nag-build nyo together at that time, magandang i-share nyo yun together. Dahil yun ay parang kayo ng dalawa. Kaya habang mag-isa ka, sa'yo yun. Pagka kayong dalawa, sa inyo yung dalawa na. So para sa akin, tama lang parang hindi yung magulo, kumbaga for me. Kasi for me, at the end of the day, kung mag-away man kayo at least you can still respect each other na parang hindi niya kinuha yung dapat sa kanya or yung dapat sa'yo. Yun,
okay. So you agree, you will not feel slighted
for me yun
if she tells you na we will have to have a prenup. Okay. Now, which is a good thing, mga mamaps and papaps. And for me personally, that was my biggest mistake. Okay? Not because my ex made it difficult for me for the properties, but in the end, it become really an issue, not because of what I'm going to have or what he is going to have, because I was willing to give anyway. It is because of the liabilities. And this is the thing that majority of you, mga mamaps and papaps, keeps on forgetting, that if your partner have assets, your partner will also have liabilities. And in absolute partnership in any marriage, when your partner ended up having a liability in absolute partnership, his liability will also be the wife's or the husband's liability. So, imagine niyo yun, mga mamaps and papaps. If, for example, your husband or your wife ended up racking up bills in their credit card to 1 million or, let's just say, 5 million, 10 million, and you didn't know about it. And because you did not have a prenup, kasi if you do not have a prenup, mga mamaps and papaps, automatically, it will fall to absolute partnership. And so, in the end, the liability of the 10 million, if your partner cannot pay for it, you have to pay for it. So, yan ang pag-iisipan yung mabuti mga mamas and papas, because yan ang naging dahilan why I really have to file an annulment. Because in the end, I couldn't care less if we just get separated, because at the end of the day,
money hurts more than
I just want to let it go. You know, I have no plans of getting married anyway, and honestly, I just want him out of my life. But at the end of the day, because of he already affected a lot of the hard-earned money I work for, he will also end up affecting the things that I'm going to earn in the future, even if we are separated. So, imagine niyo yung impact na yon, mga mamaps and papaps. Not only, yes, financially, let's just say, even if we are separated, but because he is racking debt, yes, it becomes my debt. So, even if we don't live in the same house, if he ended up owing a bank for 20 million, I will have to pay it if I don't get annulled with him. So, imagine niyo yun, mga mamaps and papas. So, he already affected the money that I work hard for, and then the future money that I'm going to work hard for, he will still have a say in it. So, imagine that fear. And that is why, Dokie Brian, I highly advise you to have a prenup. Because at the time when my dad was telling that to me, I did not really understand. Because for me, I said, I do not want to offend my fiancé. That's one. Second is that he was in a good place at the time, and I was also in a good place at the time. His family is okay, my family is okay. So I did not have any reason to think that there will be an inequality just in case there will be a separation and there will be an issue in terms of finances and a separation of properties. But the funny thing is, mga mamas and papaps, you don't know what the future holds.
That's true.
So, and make our future better by giving us a
Thumbs up.
thumbs up, like this
Subscribe.
video if you like
and
it.
hit the notification bell.
Yes.
And mag-comment kayo mga Dokies kung ano masabi sa aming kwentuhan for today.
Yes, and do comment if you agree with us in terms of the prenup issue. And that is why, for me, I believe Dominic Roque was agreeable for the prenup. And I think they really should have a prenup because considering that Bea Alonzo, let's face it, she earns more than him. We're not saying that we should look down upon him. That's not the issue. But if in case they really break up, or because Dominic Roque is just building a business, which is a startup, that might end up, resulting to debts. That in the end, Bea Alonzo might end up paying for it. Yes, so for the protection of both, and so that it is very clear that you married the person for love and not, for any other stuff. And look at how people are so judgmental ngayon, Dokie, naghiwala, dati when they're not separating, parang it's not an issue that Bea is richer than Dominic. It's all about how they look good together. But now, it becomes money, di ba? Na may investigation pa nga, di ba? Iniimbestigahan daw. Nakakaloka naman yun. Okay? And then, again, as I've said, that is my opinion. Whether you are at the level of Bea Alonzo financially, or whether you are equal with your partner, or whatever is the situation, even if you are poor, it is better to have a prenup because you will never know what will happen in the next few years. Yes, ayan. So anyway, mga mamas and papaps, we hope that you like this video, and if you have any questions or comments, do place it below. Bye-bye!